What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. I've gotten all your requests and I finally have possession of a 2021 Cadillac Escalade. This is the 5th generation Escalade. It's been with us for quite some time. Originally introduced around 1999, which seems like it was just yesterday. It's crazy to see that we're here looking at the 5th generation. So this particular model is a 4-wheel drive sport model. And the 4-wheel drive sport versions of the Escalade typically start around $85,000 or so. With the options, this particular one is priced at $107,000. So today, I want to take a look at this full-size luxury SUV, which has been finished in a crystal white tri-coat for the exterior, and the interior is a whisper beige with black leather. It is truly beautiful. Let's go ahead and get into the details, check out the exterior and interior, and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. When it comes to the front of this new Escalade, you're going to notice the vertical lines and the blocky design characteristics of this vehicle. Typical Cadillac design language. It looks like a really expensive, refined, luxury refrigerator. But at the same time, it is a handsome, large SUV, I have to admit it. Now, the hood is defined by simple indentations. Now, underneath the hood, you have 2 engine choices. This particular Escalade features the naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8 that's getting you 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. That's connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 for this large SUV occurs in 6.1 seconds. That's not bad at all. Now, your other option is a 3-liter diesel engine, if that's your style. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, this particular Escalade is the sport version, so it's gonna get black trim instead of all that chrome. I like how it makes it look really clean and aggressive, especially from up front. This gigantic black grille with the Cadillac badge in the middle looks really nice. Now, coming over, of course, you have LED headlamps, LED daytime running lamps, and LED turning signals. I love these vertical light blades as well. They look really nice. And then, of course, you have LED fog lamps as well. Let's go ahead and check out the side profile. Now, when you look at this from the side, you're probably going to notice that these SUVs keep getting bigger and bigger. This Escalade now has a 120.9-inch wheelbase. This is a large vehicle by anyone's standards. Now, at the side profile up front, what I'm loving are these sharp fender lines right above the wheel arches. I think it just provides a lot of characteristic to the side profile of this vehicle. It does a lot by just doing a little with these simple lines. You also have this high waistline going from the front all the way to the rear of the vehicle as well. Now, what's optional are these large 22-inch 12-spoke gloss black wheels. That is a $2,000 option, but they look amazing against this white paintwork. Now, of course, you have automatic running boards for easy ingress and egress. Now, one thing I noticed about the door handles is that the door handles don't actually pop out from the body. They don't remove from the body. There's actually a rubber button that you press and it allows you to open the doors, but these door handles don't actually move. It gives it a nice futuristic feel when you open the door. It's something you truly have to experience to know what I'm talking about. Now, that black sport trim is gonna black out your window surrounds from the front all the way to the rear. It almost looks like this is one continuous piece of glass, which adds to the overall clean appearances of this new Escalade. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. Now, when it comes to the rear, that clean theme continues. Look how it's just sharp lines here. I really like that. The windshield wiper has been hidden. The third brake light is clear, just gives it a nice, clean, and tailored look, typical of Cadillac. Now, of course, there's a button on the remote. I can tap that twice. That opens up this top portion here, allowing me easy access to the rear compartment. Now, if I want to close it, just close it shut like that. And if I want to open the hatch, I can press this button here. I like how the button is hidden inside the Cadillac emblem. That is slick. Now, when it comes to the rear capacity, with all rows up, with the third row up, you have 25 cubic feet of storage. I can drop this electronically by simply pressing these buttons here. Goes down nice and easy. Now I have roughly 62 cubic feet of storage. Now I can also drop the second row from the back here, and that's gonna give me up to 109 cubic feet of storage. So storage is definitely not an issue in this vehicle. One touch electronically closes the hatch. Everything goes down nice and cleanly. Now, coming lower, you do have blacked out dual exhaust tips, which really looks nice. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, new for 2021, you finally get an independent rear suspension. Finally, let's go ahead and check out the interior. Now, when you take a look at the interior, by anyone's standards, this is where the Escalade shines. This is truly luxurious, leaps and bounds over the previous generation. I can't stress that enough. All the leather, the white leather, the black leather, the wood trim, it just looks nice. Everything has been executed extremely well. We'll start at the front where you have silver accents with these speakers here. That's part of the 36 speaker AKG speaker system in this vehicle. That is over a $4,000 option. Coming lower, your dash is covered in a soft black leather with contrast stitching. And then here, what everybody's talking about, the 38-inch display. So the screen all the way to the left is 7.2 inches. The middle screen for your instrument cluster is 14.2 inches. And then this screen for your infotainment system, 16.9 inches. So a lot of tech here, all touch screen, or you can use the controls in the center console as well. Now, this is impressive. So what you have here on the screen right now is the camera for your augmented reality. So that means when you're driving and you have your navigation, this will actually show you the real image of what's outside and overlay arrows so you know exactly where to turn. So if you have this on, there are absolutely zero excuses as to why you made a wrong turn. Now, coming back to this smaller screen, that allows me to control options such as my head-up display, what's on my instrument cluster here, and then also it comes with night vision. That is a $2,000 option for the Escalade. So again, amazing ease of access and a wealth of technology as well. Coming over to the 16.9-inch huge display here that gives you access to the different vehicle settings, navigation, vehicle information, trailering options, OnStar services, different camera views. I love the camera angles here. You have a huge assortment of cameras. Now you'll notice that there's a black portion on the side. That's because I have the door open for the camera to sit there. But look at all these options here. I can go to normal, wide, overhead, side by side. I love the side by side option. It allows you to see exactly where the wheel is if you have a narrow driveway. That way you're not messing up the side of your driveway because you're driving off of it. Really useful, and there's just tons of options here. So you could spend quite some time going through this menu, but this is extremely useful, especially in parking lot situations. You have your ambient lighting controls, your rear climate controls, Wi-Fi hotspot, Sirius XM. Of course, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Everything that you could want is in this system. Now coming lower, you have beautiful wood trim. And then I love how they did the air conditioning vents in this vehicle. It's almost like they're hidden. Most of the time when I'm reviewing cars, I feel like the downfall is that they have to show the air conditioning vents. Not all air conditioning vents are nice to look at, but I love the way Cadillac executed this in the dash here. Coming lower, you have your air conditioning controls that use a TFT display. This is a thin film transistor display. Really looks nice, operates smoothly. Nice feedback with the buttons here, gives you a sense of high quality. It makes you feel like you're getting what you're paying for. So I really like how they incorporated that. Coming back further, you have your electronic gear selector, a huge, beautiful piece of wood trim here that cover 2 cup holders and 2 USB ports as well. Now coming back to the center console on the left side, you have controls for your infotainment system if you don't want to be committed to using the touchscreen. Coming further back, you have a slot where you can drop your phone and it wirelessly charges your phone for you. That's really nice as well. Coming further back, tons of more storage, 2 additional USB ports and an SD card slot as well. Now, the steering wheel is heated. The leather feels nice and smooth in my hands. I had this vehicle for a while. The steering wheel gives you an excellent sense of control. Of course, you have that traditional Cadillac badge in the middle there, and then some wood trim and some bright work. Really looks nice. Now behind the steering wheel, you do have paddles to downshift and upshift. You probably won't be using that too much in this vehicle, but behind the steering wheel, you can see that video I have up there for your augmented reality. If you don't like that, you can switch it to your traditional instrument cluster as well. So I think that's nice. So there's your gauge cluster right there. Looks nice and large, easy to read. That's definitely a huge plus. I really like the way everything's been executed. You can tell there's been some serious thought that went into this. Now coming over to the seats, 3 levels of heating, 3 levels of cooling, which you would come to expect from a $100,000 vehicle. Now the seats do have that unique perforation that Cadillac uses in their vehicles, and of course, speakers in the headrest, part of that AKG $4,000 plus audio system. That is pretty, it sounds insane. It sounds insane. Every time I've driven this vehicle this week, I've blasted the audio system and it just sounds amazing. Now coming over to the door panels, goes in well with the rest of the theme in the vehicle. Nice and curvaceous, covered in leather, contrast stitching, silver accents with the wood trim, aluminum door handles, controls for your seating. The seats are 12-way adjustable, by the way, extremely comfortable. And then coming further down, you have controls for all 4 windows that feature automatic one-touch down and up. I really like that. I can't stand when auto manufacturers only make the front windows one touch up and down. Give me all 4. So Cadillac definitely did that here. I like that 2-position memory, and then of course plenty of storage on the bottom of the door. I also like how the doors have white leather accents that help break up the black as well. Let's go ahead and check out the back. Now when it comes to the back, these bucket seats are truly comfortable. Nice armrest, so you could sit back here easily for hours on end. Tons of leg room. You have 41.7 inches of leg room on the second row. Up front, it's about 44.5 inches of leg room. So this vehicle has tons of space. Now, coming over to the doors, same quality that you got up front with the leather finish, the stitching, the silver accents, and the wood trim. Of course, you have your speaker system back here as well, and then controls for your windows and storage on the bottom of the door. Now in front of me, you would have noticed you have these large displays here for your infotainment system. So if you're sitting in the back, you're entertained as well. You can hook up a PlayStation or Xbox, whatever you have. You have navigation, so all the vehicle information you have access to up here. That is pretty neat. That is also a $2,000 option. So not cheap, but definitely hits that cool factor. Now these seats, of course, go back and forth, so they recline easily. They are not powered, but they are easy to adjust. And there's no reason why anybody couldn't be comfortable back here. Now in the center console in the rear, I do have access to climate control, and then 4 USB ports down here as well. So I can keep whatever I have charged. Let's go ahead and check out the third row. Now getting to the third row of the Escalade is fairly easy. If you look at the second row bucket seats, they're levers on both sides. Simply pulling the lever, the seat collapses, allowing you to crawl to the back. So seating in the back is fairly comfortable. Of course, it's not as comfortable as the second row would be. You have about 34.9 inches of leg room, but thanks to that independent rear suspension, it doesn't have the floor raised up and have your knees to your chest, so you're not curled up back here. Now there's also 2 USB ports in the back, so the rear occupants don't feel left out, and 2 air conditioning vents as well. But sitting in the back allows you to take full advantage of this huge panoramic roof, which brings in tons of light into this cabin. Let's go ahead and get the Escalade out on the road. All right, so we're finally taking a ride in this 2021 Escalade. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, be sure to hit that like button. It's gonna give us a ton of help. All right, Isha, what do you think about this vehicle?
It is huge, and to fathom that back in the day, this is the car I wanted.
Yes, yes, back in the day.
You remember when everybody had the Escalade? Was it on 22s?
Yeah, on 22s.
Remember that?
Yep. But this time it comes stock with 22s. It actually has 22-inch wheels.
22s.
You don't have to put the 22s on there. They're already there.
Wait, do I get the rims though that spin?
Oh no, let's leave that in the past. Okay, let's leave that in the past.
Okay.
So overall ride quality, so far I'm really impressed. Again, ultra long wheelbase vehicle, really smooth ride. Isha, what are your thoughts on the ride quality?
Oh, it's an amazing ride actually. Very smooth, very low road noise. You know, you guys know by now that's what I look for. Yeah,
it's almost no road noise in this. It's amazing how quiet of a ride it is.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine taking a long road trip in a vehicle like this one?
I could.
This is what you want to do stuff like that in.
Yeah.
Right, so it has all the tech. What about the material quality inside here? What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty nice. It got your leather, got some nice wood grain here.
Yep, the wood trim is nice.
You know, got your stitching that transfers throughout.
Now, what do you think about how they hid the air conditioning vents? See how They're like
I
sleek.
didn't even notice it. to be
Exactly.
honest
I
with
really
you.
like that. I really like how they're so sleek that you barely even notice
I
them.
like that. That's a good feature.
Yeah. Now, one of the biggest features on the interior that everybody seems to be talking about is this 38-inch touchscreen. Well,
I thought it was pretty cool.
it's huge, but what I really like about it is how they followed up with wrapping it in leather.
Right. I honestly, when I first saw it, I said, "Wow, that's big," but
Mhm.
it's cool because it's double.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like Tesla.
The
you
the
know,
elongated, yeah.
the huge iMac in there. You
Yeah,
know, the
yeah.
iPad.
This is done
saying?
really tastefully, and I like how it has like a subtle curve to it as
Right.
well.
It's very nice. I like that, and it's not too big where it's coming up too far either.
Right. It's not sticking. It doesn't seem like it's sticking out.
Right.
So it integrates really nicely into the
Mhm.
interior. I think they really spent quite a bit of time making sure that they got the interior right on this one, especially up front, and they definitely did that. Now the seats, how do you feel about the seats? Are they comfortable
they're
for you?
very comfortable.
Nice
Very
and plush, huh?
comfortable. Nice and plush. I'm wrapped, with. You know what? Let me point this out. In vehicles that are luxury, you usually have this side bolstering. This has it, but it is not a sport feature side bolstering.
It's not overly aggressive.
Yeah. And what I mean by that, when it's overly aggressive, it almost clinches you too tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it makes you feel like you're cramped. And I understand that you probably need that in a sports vehicle. So, all you guys, who drive all those sports cars, don't get after me, but I'm just making a point here.
Right. So there is 3 levels of heating. You got on your heated seat.
I got on my heated.
Because it's freezing outside.
It's freezing.
And during the summer, you could turn on that cooled feature.
Yeah.
Now they are 12-way adjustable speakers in the headrest. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
The sound system
cool.
in here is awesome.
Something I didn't notice either. You're pulling out all the shots on this one on me. Usually I'm pulling them.
Yeah, you usually are. So we got a head-up display as well. We also have this rear view camera.
Love that.
If you don't like it, you can turn it off.
You have the head-up display?
Yeah, there's a head-up display here.
Nice.
You probably can't see that.
No, but I like that feature.
Right. So you have a ton of safety features in here that you would come to expect from a vehicle from GM. So it all goes together pretty nicely. Now, sitting in the back, you have 2 rows back there. Of course, you have the bucket chairs. Those are really nice, tons of leg room. And then you have that huge infotainment system back there to keep you entertained as you're being chauffeured along. That's also nice as well. Now, if you notice, this vehicle obviously has white leather. If you have kids, do not get the white leather option. Don't get that. It looks nice, but over time,
it's not going to.
Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to hold up over time. That's just my thoughts on that. But overall, sitting in the back there in that second row, I thought that was comfortable. Third row seems to be pretty decent. They managed to get you more leg room. Your knees aren't going to be where your chest is when you're sitting in the third row.
Yeah, I've been in the third row, and it's very tight.
Yeah, so that's not the case with this one. But what's your favorite feature about the interior?
Probably this roof.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, but to be honest with you, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with all of the design aspects that they put into, this vehicle.
It's nice. It's pricey. I will say $107,000 is a lot.
Well, you pay for what you get.
You get what you pay for. Yeah, I hear you, but that is up there. But this is a really nice vehicle. The quality of the leather is exceptional. I'm loving the silver accents throughout, especially, you look around, you see the speakers as part of a 36 speaker system.
Yeah, I see it in here. I see it here.
So it's everywhere. So it definitely looks nice.
It's surround sound in here.
Right. And when it comes to the exterior, apparently this is a head turner because I've been driving it for about a week and, people are breaking their necks. I see people in old Escalades looking at me like, oh my gosh.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like they don't want their Escalade anymore.
Oh my gosh.
So
it's really big.
It is huge.
It is really big.
It is huge, yeah. But this is something that's become a household name. People want it. So Cadillac has definitely developed a fan base with the full-size SUV Escalade that we have come to know and love since 1999 to present. So Isha, did you have any closing thoughts or?
First impressions from the outside, it's a Cadillac Escalade. And you know what? To me, it still has that Escalade feel from, you know, previous generations.
Right.
It is still big. It still has the boxy shape, but to me, I feel like they are starting to incorporate a little bit more curvature to it, even within the inside.
The interior, yep.
The interior, which is a nice feature for me anyway. If that's what, you know, I like that. I like it. I don't feel. Let me say this. Some of the other vehicles that we have, you know, rode in the past, it literally feels like you're on a truck on wheels, like a huge box. This doesn't give me that feel, though.
It doesn't give you that feel as much as the previous generation, but it still essentially is a truck. You know, I wouldn't call this like a large SUV. When I think of a large SUV, I mean, technically that's what this is classified as, but I think of more like a Mercedes-Benz GLS. When somebody mentions a large SUV, when you drive this, you feel like you're driving a truck because it sits that high and it has such a presence to it.
Right, but I don't have that stiff feeling.
Right, that's because, you know, they did an awesome job with the suspension. You now have an independent rear suspension now, and it makes all the difference in ride quality as well.
It really does. I feel like they should go ahead and even put that in trucks. Like, who wants that feeling? Right.
So,
overall,
see, there's a 4th gen Escalade. I bet you that person is going to be looking at us. Right? They're tinted out, but that's not even the 4th gen. I think that's a 3rd gen. But anyways,
it's a total difference.
It's a huge difference, right?
It's a total difference. That looks small. Like, that looks okay. Let me not go that far, but. You know. Yep.
So that's my thoughts behind the wheel. This is a smooth vehicle to drive, excellent vehicle for long road trips. And that just about wraps up the driving portion.
Do I have a song for this one? You know, usually I correlate something. I can't think of a song.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it before you think of the song that correlates to this.
Just give me 1 minute, because there was something that there was a song back in the day that
Ludacris mentions Escalade at times.
Yeah, it had to have been. I'm gonna figure it out. Insert song here.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us during the test drive. So that was a review of the all-new 2021 Cadillac Escalade. What do you guys think about this one? To me, it looks big and bulky, but it still looks refined with its sharp lines up front, and especially with this high waistline going along the side profile. But to me, the interior is where it really shines, with that huge 38-inch screen and then all the leather accents. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.